Hello, lovely BLSTV viewers. I'm sorry to interrupt your scheduled programming, but we're here with a special episode this week. Now, my initial plan was to make a history of BLSTV video for this Wednesday. However, it's proved to be more of a challenge than I was expecting, and I thought I'd share the process with you so that we at least have something until that video comes out. Now, it all started when I was just curious who the original founder of BLS TV was. Now, in the past few years, Raina, Charlotte, and I have wondered this. We've gone through. As some of you may be aware, if you watched the first posted video on the BLS TV channel, they mentioned that BLS TV existed before, 6 years prior to when that video came out in 2015, I believe it was. Yeah, 2015.
Hello, Boston Latin. I'm Max Avoco Cole.
And I'm Sumilita.
And this is BLS TV.
Yes, we're back.
Like we never left.
We did leave for like 6 years.
So chances are most of you didn't even know we existed in the first place.
So if we look, this is an email from Miss Foley. Some of you may know her. She teaches BZ Latin as well as Myth. And I spoke to her because I knew that the club was founded somewhere around 2003. I was talking to her about this history thing because she is a BLS alum. So I got this email. She says, "Hello, I discovered that BLS TV was indeed founded in 2003 by..." I may censor that name for privacy reasons. Who was the 2003 class president. I imagine Miss Clordy or someone at BLSA might be able to get in touch with her and find out more. Would be cool to set up a 20 years of BLS TV bit. Also works with the entire Women First Historical Lens of the Year. Now, from that email, we get the idea that this person is the original founder. So I went to Miss Clordy like she recommended and tried to figure out what the email was to see if I could get an interview. Now, this is where things get interesting. So I email Miss Clordy, and I get an email, which is just a standard Gmail account, nothing too special. I email it, and I get no reply. Now, at first, I think perhaps doesn't want to talk to us. That's fine. Or maybe she didn't see the email. So I was going to send a follow-up, and then I thought, I'll try a different method of communication. So I went to LinkedIn, did some internet sleuthing, and found that their last name was changed because they were now married. So I emailed her up, and I said, "Hey, I love BLS TV. A lot of my friends and stuff are part of it. I'd love to interview you and talk to you about the club, where it is now, how it started. Love some information." And here's what I got in return. So I emailed her. I said, "Dear Dr." She's a doctor now. Studied at Harvard, by the way. Class 2003 president. Big ups. But dear doctor, through some sleuthing, I found out that you were the original founder of BLS TV School Club, blah, blah, blah. She says, "Hi, Ryan. I'm sorry I don't have better news to share, but I was not involved with BLS TV while I was at BLS. Now, I've been working on this for a couple weeks now. This email I received 6 days ago, and my heart was broken. Because we were planning this episode to go out this week, and now I'm back to the drawing board. I'm sorry to say, I don't know who founded the club, but she had her high school reunion that weekend, and we were going to see if anything could come out of that. So back and forth a bit, and then after the weekend, in fact, today, this is May 9th, she responds, she asked around, doesn't have a confirmed name yet, but has a few leads. So that's what I'm currently investigating. However, there's one more avenue that we hadn't addressed. Miss Foley, through some extra sleuthing, had found that there's BLS TV tapes, physical tapes, dating from 2003 to 2010. Now, this was huge. I thought these tapes had been lost to history. People had spoken about them in the club. They were kind of legend, but I didn't know we still had them, for one thing, and two, who had them. So, it took a lot more work, but I was able to get in contact with Miss Uber. For those of you who do not know, Miss Uber is the archivist at BLS, and she takes care of anything that's like past history of BLS, anything like that. We have all sorts of admin who a lot of you probably don't know. I certainly hadn't met her until I was working on this project, but she is amazing. Absolutely, if you're looking into BLS history, she's a great resource. Anyway, we go to that email. I went in person and found the tapes. They were the official tapes from 2003. Well, actually, it was 2004. We had little Sony cassette tapes that go into a camcorder. That was it. So I'm still trying to figure out how to get those digitized so I can share them with you all. My current plan is to get a camcorder, and then I'm not going to describe all the gory details. Point is, I'm going to try and get those for all of you. But then I get a follow-up email that she found the VHS tapes as well. So not only do we have 2004 to 2010, I think we had on those on the cassette tapes, we also had 2003 and 2004 in VHS, which means that if I can get these to play in a VCR, I can find the original founder of BLSTV, and hopefully I'll get them in an interview for next week's episode. So, I am sorry to say that I can't do a review yet. Please stay tuned for Wednesday next week, and hopefully by then I'll have some fantastic news and some history to share for you. So, I'll see you next week. Bye.